Monday, March 28th. It is 7 p.m. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Please note that this meeting is being conducted utilizing electronic equipment in compliance with State Law Public Act 21-2 as such. This meeting is being recorded and will be available to the public in compliance with state law. If you're attending remotely, please remember to mute your microphone unless you are speaking. Anyone participating remotely should state their name and title, if applicable, at the outset of the occasion that such a person is speaking. All votes taken which any member of this body are participating remotely shall be taken by roll call vote unless the vote is unanimous. The chat features will not be utilized or considered during this meeting. All members of council are present. I ask that without any objection that we pass the consent calendar. No objection on passing the consent calendar as presented. I ask that communication items A would be incorporated into the minutes of the meeting. Public participation. I'll begin with all members of the public that are here in person in the audience this evening. Is there any member of the public that would like to participate at this time? All right, I will go virtual. Is there any member of the public that is here using their cell phone, laptop, tablet, or other means that is here virtually that would like to participate at this time? Please remember to unmute yourself and please state your name so that I can make a list and read off the list. Once again, please remember to unmute yourself if you're here virtually if you'd like to publicly participate. Hearing none, I'm going to close public participation. Appointments. Our first appointment, resolution 22-33. Karen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask this council to approve the appointment of Deborah Lynn Malawecki, unaffiliated voter of 299 Purdy Hill Road, with the Commission for the Aging for a term ending July 2nd, 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Vice Chair Lapellis. Discussion, Ms. Martin.
Ms. Malawecki is a fifth-generation resident of Monroe and the owner of a Monroe-based business that provides tutoring, college preparatory, and English as a second language services. Over the years, Debbie helped care for her elderly family members, most recently her stepfather. Seeing many of the challenges that seniors face as they age sparked her her interest in joining the Commission for the Aging. She looks forward to giving back to her community. This appointment fills a vacancy created by the resignation of Don.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. I believe a new member of the Commission on Aging is here.
He is.
Come on forward.
Oh, that's Debbie.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as a member of the Commission on Aging to the best of your abilities, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do, and I will.
Congratulations. Fill out the top part of that and give it to me before you leave. Great. Thank you. Congratulations again.
Hey. Our next appointment, resolution 22-34, Ms. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask this council to approve the appointment of Isabella Medeiros, unaffiliated voter of 37 Squire Road, to the Historic District Commission with a term ending July 1, 2022.
Martin, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Vice Chair Lapellis. Ms. Martin.
Ms. Medeiros has been a resident of Monroe for 13 years. She recently graduated from Juniata College, which is, I believe, in Pennsylvania, correct?
It is, yep.
With a bachelor's degree in neuroscience. Isabella has prioritized community service and leadership throughout her academic career. She has a passion for history and looks forward to joining this commission and giving back to the town. And this appointment fills a vacancy created by the resignation of Alice Poole.
Thank you, Ms. Martin. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, I call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. Ms. Medeiros, please come down.
Could I ask her?
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as a member of the Historic District Commission to the best of your abilities, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I will and I do.
Congratulations. Okay, thanks and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. All right, our next resolution, resolution 22-35. Mr. Rooney? You are still muted. We cannot hear you.
Is he here?
He is here virtually.
I'm sorry.
I think we're having an issue with his microphone.
Okay, I'll take care of it.
I
He
cannot,
must be the 650.
I cannot hear him. Well, Vice Chair Lapellis, would you like to do the appointment for 2235?
Sure. Resolution 22.35, to consider and act upon a resolution regarding the appointment of Nick Franzago of 57 Greenfield Hill Road to the Youth Commission as a representative of the Police Department for a term ending October 12th, 2023.
Okay. All right. Is there a motion to adopt resolution 2235?
So moved.
All right. Motion by Jason. Is there a second?
Second.
By Donald Wales. All right. Discussion. All right. Nick Franzago has lived in Monroe for nearly 4 years and has been a Monroe police officer for 9 years. Nick is eager to take on the new role and to be a liaison between the police and youth of Monroe. Nick is the father of 2 young children, has experience participating in town-wide youth events. This appointment fills a vacancy created by the resignation of John Salvatore. All right. Any other discussion on this motion?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would just add that this is fulfilling specifically the police department requirement as required by charter for the police commission, and the appointment is conditional and contingent on Mr. Franzago remaining a member of the Monroe Police Department throughout his term.
Yes, Mr. Mallon. All right. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. All right. Resolution 2236. All right, can I have a motion to adopt the following resolution? Resolution 2236. Resolved that the Monroe Town Council hereby approves the first selectman's appointment of Jeffrey Medeiros of 35 Wilton Drive to the Youth Commission as a member currently under the age of 21 with a term ending October 12th, 2023. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Vice Chair Lapellis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Power. Discussion. I think Mr. Rooney has his.
Mr. Formicello, do you have me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, something was going wrong on my phone, but I fixed it. Thank you. Discussion. Jeffrey Medeiros, Republican of 35 Wilton Drive, to the Youth Commission for a term ending October 12, 2023. It satisfies Charter 5, Section 21 of the Monroe Town Charter requiring at least one member currently under 21 years of age. Mr. Medeiros is 18 years old and has lived in Monroe for 6 years. He is a senior at Notre Dame High School, where he's the president of Student Council. In that role, he organizes youth events and has responsibility for the Student Council's budget. Jeffrey is knowledgeable on the needs of the youth population and is excited to get involved with this commission. This appointment fills an open vacancy.
Thank you, Mr.
Can I-
Maroney. Vice Chair LaPellis?
I sat on the vacancy committee last week when we interviewed Jeffrey, and he seemed like a very earnest. He's interested in doing all kinds of events and getting real active with the youth people in Monroe.
Thank you, Vice Chair LaPellis. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, we can go for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. All right, item E, Resolution 22-37. Mr. Rooney?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to this council to appoint Joey Maini, an affiliate of 23 Braylock Way, to the Conservation and Water Resources Commission with a term ending December 5th, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Rooney. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second.
Second by Vice Chair LaPellis. Mr. Rooney, discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Maini has lived in Monroe for 25 years. He has a degree in mechanical engineering and has an interest in balancing appropriate economic development and conservation in Monroe. He looks forward to giving back to his community by serving on this commission. I ask that you please approve his appointment. This appointment fills the vacancy created by the resignation of Ryan Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Rooney. Any other discussion?
I would just like to add, he also came before our vacancy committee, public and vacancy committee, and he seemed like a very earnest young man. He's a mechanical engineer. He has a master's in mechanical engineering from Fairfield U. He seemed, he's interested in getting involved.
Vice Chair LaPellis. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, I'm going to call for vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. All right. Action items, Town Council Committee on Finance, Education, Health, Public Safety Matters. Madam Vice Chair.
We have not met since our last meeting.
Town Council Committee on Planning, Zoning, Public Works, and Parks and Recreation Matters. Mr. Rooney. Mr. Rooney?
I'm sorry. I did talk to Cap today at Town Hall, trying to schedule a meeting for next Tuesday, tentatively at 6 o'clock, but the time there may be an issue there. So I'll be in contact with the other members of this subcommittee to complete that task. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Town Council Committee on Legislative and Administrative Matters. Mr. Reed.
Here, let me, I've been trying to tee up the, my email here with our agenda. 1 second, if you just bear with me. All right, almost there, and I'm there. Okay, we did go over 6 items tonight. We met tonight right before council. We had 6 items of new business. 2022 Summer Concert Series, the United Way ESFP Phase 39 Grant Award, WB Mason Beverage Service Agreement, revisions to various job descriptions, Town of Monroe pay plan for the positions in classified service, as well as the Global Signal Acquisitions LLC Tower Site License Agreement, all had reached unanimous consensus to come to council tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Reed.
For your enjoyment.
Of course.
Yes.
Strategic Planning Committee. We have not met since our last town council meeting. Our next strategic planning meeting will be after the referendum. All right, EMS Building Committee, Mr. Rooney.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing really to report other than everything is going well. We did meet since last council and we spoke about the situation of stone on the right side of the building. So we're in the process of working with Nagy Brothers to come up with a complete solution there. But other than that, there is no additional items to speak of. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Rooney. Open Space Preservation Acquisition Committee, Mr. O'Rourke.
We have not met since our last meeting.
Thank you, Mr. O'Rourke. Mr. First Selectman, your update.
Thank you. Sean, would you mind passing it along? Thank you. So a few things to update. First item is cultural humility training. All of our town employees are currently either have or in the process of completing a training seminar that our HR director, Craig Hirsch, has organized on cultural humility, which is cultural humility is really empowerment to learn from each other, reserve judgment, kind of bridge the cultural divide and increase the quality of interpersonal actions. This training is being provided by the System for Education, Equity, and Transition. As I had previously discussed with this council, I am making this training available to all elected and appointed town officials as well. Details will be sent out later this week to all of the chairs of all boards and commissions with further information on how to avail yourself of that training. It will be a virtual training to make it as convenient for anyone to attend remotely as well. So that's that. Second item is FEMA reimbursement. We have closed out our FEMA disaster reimbursement requests for Tropical Storm Isaias, which we all remember with great fondness, I'm sure. The standard reimbursement of 75% of eligible costs will be received, which is over $175,000. The bulk being in public works, labor, overtime, equipment use, contractors for debris removal, et cetera. There's also almost $12,000 in police overtime. All of those costs were expended in a prior fiscal year, which is already closed out. So those funds will go into the general fund under miscellaneous income. On Route 25 near the 59 intersection, you may have noticed that the state of Connecticut changed the traffic pattern a bit in terms of turning lanes, et cetera. Those changes were the result of a request to the state back in 2017, early 2017, to address that intersection, which to our surprise, they just went and did one night. So, so there's that. We were kind of, they didn't really mention that it was going to happen. It just happened. Recent issues with electrical power, as I know we're all well aware. I mentioned at the last meeting that we were dealing with Eversource and trying to get as much specificity from them as to what happened and why and what they were doing about it. There's a document which is actually on the flip side of this, which is received from Eversource that outlines their timeline of the the 3 different outage events and the actions that were taken, basically outlining how each one occurred. The first one being a hardware issue at the substation switch, which was serviced and put back in service. That was in February. In March, the exact same switch failing, however, due to a software issue. They reported the software was updated and the switch was put back in service. And the most recent 2 outages on the 22nd and 23rd, which is while they were making updates to the circuit failed. And because they were working on it, they could not switch over immediately. They reported on March 24th that all repairs were complete. They outline this further and then end with the fact that they will be completely replacing the 2 source circuits that feed the Monroe substation. It will take several months to complete, but that is a project that apparently will be undertaken. And last but not least, just to update everyone on COVID, our case rates continue to fall. We're averaging about over a case per day. We're obviously all watching the BA2 subvariant of Omicron because we know it is increasing rapidly in some areas of the world and the country. I do expect that case rates will increase at some point locally, but currently, while it is more transmissible, it does not appear to be more virulent, or in other words, dangerous. So again, we continue to monitor that. And that's my report tonight. Thank you.
Mr. Kellogg. All right, we have no matters of unfinished business this evening. New business item A, resolution 2238, consider and act upon a resolution regarding W.B. Mason Beverage Service Agreement. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 22-38. Resolved that Kenneth M. Kellogg, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the beverage service agreement and any associated documents by and between W.B. Mason for drinking water service at the Public Works Highway Garage.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All right. Discussion, Mr. Kellogg.
So Public Works obtained a more favorable pricing arrangement with this new vendor for the water service at the town garage. This basically allows us to continue providing that service at a more favorable price, avoiding cost increases and in line with our proposed 23 budget. You have the town attorney, review of it attached. It's obviously a pretty straightforward agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Selectman. Any other discussion?
Chair.
Mr. Mauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This was passed at LNA. The only discussion was whether or not there are other opportunities for savings within other departments. The selectman assured us that the town hall water is actually done through and just filtered, so it's just hooked up to the tap, but would check with the other departments just to make sure, but was not aware of any others that could benefit from these savings, but if there were, they would look at that.
Thank you, Mr. Mauer. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. Item B, resolution 22-39, consider and act upon a resolution regarding revisions to various job descriptions. Madam Vice Chair.
I move that the town council adopt resolution 22-39. Resolved that the town council hereby approves the revisions to the following job descriptions and authorizes the first selectman to implement each revised job description on an individual basis as soon as practical. Assessor's assistant, assessment technician clerk, formerly titled assessor technician clerk, town engineer, and engineering technician.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Mauer. Discussion, Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So again, ongoing efforts to update job descriptions. The first two were prioritized based on some changes in jobs in that department. These are, again, this is the assessor's assistant and the assessment technician clerk. These are all largely really housekeeping changes and revisions to ensure that it is consistent and current with current practice and current references. There's really no major changes there other than that. The second two are the town engineer and engineering technician. Those changes are in line with my budget presentation in migrating the engineering functions into the Department of Public Works. There are some very minor housekeeping items in those changes as well, but really the substantive change is the moving into the department into, the positions into the Department of Public Works. The engineering technician, as you'll recall, is currently vacant and unfunded in the proposed budget. However, I felt it was important to revise that as well as a housekeeping measure in order to keep it current and reflect the proper department.
Thank you, Mr. Selectman. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion, I'm going to, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. New business item C, resolution 22-40, consider act upon a resolution regarding town Monroe pay plan for position and classified service. Madam Vice Chair.
Resolution 22-40, resolved that I move the town council adopt resolution 22-40, resolved that pursuant to town council chapter 10, section 3, the pay plan for the positions in the classified service to become effective July 1st, 2022 is hereby amended as presented by the first selectman.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. First Selectman.
So as the practice that we implemented last year, I've asked HR Director Craig Hirsch to provide a revised pay plan as something we want to do minimally every year during the budget season. So the only changes, which are consistent with the proposed fiscal year 23 budget, are in the hourly range section, and the vast majority are all simply to address the increase in minimum wage that affects a lot of these ranges and some of the others that are very close to those ranges.
Thank you, Mr. First Selectman. Any other discussion on this item? Hearing no other discussion, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. Item D, Resolution 22-41. Consider and act upon a resolution regarding global signal acquisitions to LLC Tower Site License Agreement. Madam Vice Chair.
Move that the town council adopt resolution 22-41. Resolved that Kenneth M. Kellogg, first selectman of the town of Monroe, is authorized to execute and deliver on behalf of the town of Monroe the tower site license agreement and any associated documents by and between Global Signal Acquisitions to LLC for the installation, operation, and maintenance of an FM translator by WMNR.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mauer. Discussion, Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you. So one of WMNR's translators was operated in New York, W209CJ. That had gone silent some time ago due to an electrical service failure at the site. The property owner of that location was not willing to make repairs. So our general manager for M&R, Mr. Anderson, worked to make sure that the FCC allowed the station to go silent and subsequently to move the translator to a new location. He identified an alternate location, an existing tower that is owned by Global Signal Acquisitions. The process of negotiating the lease for the tower was somewhat involved. However, with the help of Mr. Anderson, our town attorney utilized the help of Mr. Anderson as well as Rosemark Law, who you'll recall we utilized for the ARX matter, as well as he has expertise in these matters. So again, they finished that process. I'm happy to provide the site lease agreement for your consideration. Mr. Lito did provide an opinion letter as well, which discussed this further.
Thank you, Mr. Selectman. Any other discussion on this item?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Mauer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As stated, this was passed by LNA. There was one small discussion just regarding the fees for Rosemark Law as well as the fees associated with the lease. They are all covered by WMNR's budget, which is paid for through donations and grant money. So it does not affect the town budget, and all of the legal costs additionally from the Rosemark Law are covered by that as well. So this doesn't affect our budget whatsoever.
Thank you, Mr. Mauer. Any other discussion? Hearing none, call for a vote.
Aye.
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 All those against, please say nay. Hearing no nays, this passes 9-0. There is no second public participation this evening because there are no unfinished matters of new business. Going to adjourn at 7:29.